Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to learn about the conditional statements in the Java. So by using the conditional statement in the Java, we will be able to execute some part of the code depending upon some condition. For example, imagine that you are going to design a shopping website, and depending upon the customer type or membership, we are going to give the discount to the customer. So let's say person with the gold membership will get 20% discount, with the silver membership you will get 15%, and with the regular users you will get 5%. Okay, so in the Java programming, if you need to handle this kind of scenarios, we need to use conditional statement in the Java. So conditional statements allows us to control the flow of execution in a program. So in the Java there are main three types of conditional statements available. One is if else, then we have multiple if else which we called as if else ladder, and then we have switch case statement. So in case of if else, we are going to use a single condition most of the time, and whenever you are going to have multiple conditions, that time you can use if else if ladder. And in case of switch statement, there will be multiple cases available, and all these cases will be executed depending upon the condition that we have provided for the switch. So first let's see the syntax for all these type of conditional statements. So syntax for the if else. So if in the bracket we will have some condition. So if that condition is true, then this block will be executed. So whatever code you have written in the if block, okay, the if block is starting with this curly bracket and it is ending here. So whatever code you have written in the if block, that will be executed when condition is true. Else, if condition is false, then it will execute else block. So this is the syntax we have for the if else if ladder. So here we will have multiple conditions. So whenever condition 1 is true, it is going to execute the code whatever you have written in the if block, and both these blocks will not be executed. In case condition 1 is false, then control will go to the else if condition. Okay, so here we have the condition 2. So if condition 2 is true, then it is going to execute code from this else if block, and this else will not be executed. Okay, and at the end, if both condition 1 and condition 2 are false, then by default we have this only else block. Okay, so by default it is going to execute this else block. So at any time it is going to execute only one block at a time depending upon the condition. Okay, so like this you can have multiple else if conditions after this else as well. Okay, for example, I can just copy this, paste it here. Okay, so like this we can have one more else if as well. Here let's say we have condition 3. So when we have multiple conditions, we are definitely going to use this if else if ladder. Okay, so instead of using multiple if else statement in the Java, we have this switch statement now. So this is the syntax we have for the switch statement in the Java. So for this switch statement, we can have multiple case statement here, as you can see. Okay, so our switch is starting here and it is going to end here. Okay, so inside this switch, we can have multiple case statement, and at the end we will have this default case as well. So we have this first case, value 1. So if variable value is equals to value 1, then this first case will be executed. And at the end of this code, we will have break statement. So break statement in the Java is used to break the loop. Okay, so control will go out of this switch and next case statement will not be executed. Okay, otherwise it will execute each and every case in your switch case statement. So we need to use this break statement in every case in the switch case statement. Okay, remember that. So if variable value is value 1, then this first case will be executed. If variable value is equal to value 2, then this second case will be executed. And if variable value does not match to value 1 and value 2, then we have this default case. So when there are no case matches, then this by default case will be executed. So now let's try to understand this with some practical examples. So very basic examples to understand the if else statement. So here for the if else we require a condition, right? So result should be of boolean type. So here what I have done is I have created one boolean variable which value can be true or false, right? So that condition I am going to use in this if block. So if A is true, then it is going to execute if block, right? So you can have any type of code inside this if block. Okay, so that code will be executed when A is true. If A is not true, that means else block will be executed. In example 2, we have created one integer variable age that is equals to 16. So here we are checking if A is greater than or equal to 18, then execute the if block. And if your age is not greater than or equal to 18, then this else block will be executed. Okay, a single condition, and depending upon that condition we are going to make our decision. So in the first example, if block got executed as a is equal to true, and in the second example our age is 16, that is less than 18, that's why else block is executed. So for this if, we can directly use the boolean value, right? So if I want to execute the else block, I am passing false over here. Okay, so control will go into the else block, and let's say I am going to change the value of age to 20. That means this time this if block will be executed. So in this example we are going to see about the if else if ladder. So in case of this if else if ladder, we can have multiple conditions and multiple else if block here. So here in this if block we are checking our first condition. If number is greater than 0, then execute our if block. If not, then check the second condition, if number is less than 0. And if this condition is also false, then it is going to execute our last else block. Okay, so like this you can have multiple else if block with multiple conditions in this if else if ladder. Okay, so currently our number is equals to 0, so control will check if number is greater than 0, not, it will go to the second condition, it is not less than 0, then it will execute our else block at the end. The number is 0. So now let's say I made number is equals to minus 5. So now minus 5 is not greater than 0, control will go to our second condition. Okay, minus 5 is less than 0, that is a true condition, so it will execute this else if block, and this else block will not be executed now. The number is negative. So like this you can use if else if ladder in the Java programming with the multiple conditions and multiple else if block. So in this example for the switch case statement, we have integer variable day is equals to 3. So depending upon the value of this day variable, one of the case statement will be executed. So currently value of day is equal to 3, so it is going to execute case 3. We got the Wednesday. And in case I give 5 here, so for this day is equals to 5, we don't have any matching case in these statements. So Java is going to execute this default case in the switch statement. So we got the invalid day. So if I comment the break statement here, okay, like this, let's run it again. Got the invalid day. Let me change value is equals to, let's say, 1. Okay, so we have this case 1 which matching value is equal to 1. So as we have removed the break statement, it is going to execute all the cases. So as you can see here, it has executed all the cases along with default case as well. So now let's look at an example that we use in our automation testing to open the browser. So we have this browser parameter, and depending upon the value for this browser variable, we are going to open our browser. So if browser is equal to Chrome, it is going to execute this if block, and here we will have the code to open the Chrome browser in the Selenium. If browser is not equal to Chrome, then it is going to check the next condition. So if browser value is matching Firefox, then it is going to open our Firefox browser. And in case we don't have provided Chrome and Firefox, it is going to check our third condition now. If browser is equals to Edge. So if it is Edge, it is going to run the code to open the Edge browser. And if this browser value does not match to any of these Chrome, Firefox and Edge, these three conditions, then at the end it is going to execute our else block. So this we have handled by using if else if ladder in the Java. So same we can handle by using the switch case statement as well. So if you see here, we have this browser value variable. So whatever value of this browser value variable, corresponding case will be executed. For example, if browser value is equals to Firefox, then we have this case Firefox. So this code will be executed to open the Firefox browser, right? If browser value is equals to Chrome, then Chrome case will be executed. If it is age, then this case age will be executed. And if it is not, then at the end default case will be executed. Okay, so same example that we have implemented by using the if else if ladder, we have converted into switch case statement as well. So these are the some simple practical examples to understand the conditional statement in the Java. So in the next session we are going to see about the different loops in the Java with the examples. So thanks for watching guys. I will see you in the next video soon.